Greetings, Internet. Welcome to Aaron Plays. I hope you're doing fantastically well. This will be my second take of the introduction to Anzio Allied Turn 6. Anzio being the Avalon Hill title for the Italian campaign game. I've made a few errors along the way in the prior videos, and the reason why I haven't adjusted them straight away is because I record these in batches. So I normally try to do one turn Allied and German, and in fact, if possible, two turns in one city. So by the time I'm actually getting your comments saying, yeah, you did this wrong, and yeah, you did that wrong, I've already moved on, and it's gone beyond the state where I can repair it. So the errors that have been highlighted to me is I did a couple of turns, a couple of units of Germans strap moved when they started adjacent to the Allies. So they not allowed to do that. Also, I've incorrectly what was the other one? That was the main one, the strap moves. Someone said that maybe I shouldn't be doing my house rule where the largest unit takes the loss, which hurts the Germans more than the Allies. I like the house rule. I don't know how it'll imbalance the game in the long run. But I can't see second and subsequent loss can be on any unit, but the first one to me should be on the largest unit engaged, rather than a little Nebelwerfer unit that can take the second loss if required. That was it. The other thing that someone pointed out, that when the Germans didn't attack and it wasn't successful, the Allies were doubled. That meant the Germans' losses should have been doubled as well. So I've missed that as well. So. It is my first time of playing, and as I have said in other videos, it sometimes gets a little bit tricky to learn the game, run the game, shoot the video, and blah, 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 chat at the same time. So, okay. Anyway, moving on. As I say, this is my second attempt at this. The first one I did when I was actually at the table. Now I'm actually at my computer and realised that previous recording didn't seem to record. So hopefully this will, and we will now move down to the board. Yes, Naples has got a capacity of 100 and a build-up of 24. We're just bringing in the basic replacements here that were built last time. The Allies have also got 2 new replacements this turn, but no reinforcements. So as I have been doing, I'll record the replacements, and you can see I'm reminding myself that this is the Allied turn 6. There are a total 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15 turns to this scenario. It ends on the 4th turn of December. Remember, these are weekly turns. We are into the 3rd week of October, and there is mud this turn. Mud. So what's the effect of mud? Okay, the only effect I can see for mud is on movement. I'm going to stick this in here to remind myself that we actually have mud in effect, because guaranteed once I start getting into movement I'll probably forget that. So yeah, it doubles the cost for plain terrain to 2 rather than 1, and rough terrain to 4 rather than 2. Okay, so with no effect on combat, that means we could obviously try an attack somewhere without the mud being effective. So where to attack? Where to attack? So let's put some of my coloured markers out, and then we can work out where it might be beneficial to attack, because we can get to pretty much everywhere along this front line. So got a red one again, so we can put a pink one there. I think it's got to be this area of the front line rather than this one. Move the front line along a bit, rather than this area of the front line, because most of the units can get here. Well, let's do it a bit more, a closer look as we go along. So why am I putting these yellow cubes here, or these coloured cubes? Well, I'm going to take a note because I need to plan which is going to be the most effective attack along this front. So I'm going to be working out the defence of each colour, and then I'll have to keep picking them up and trying to remind myself what the hell I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So, because obviously I'm still trying to shoot the video, etc. Okay, so moving along the line, red has got a defence of 27, white 14. The 27 is caused by this unit's been on a mountain and behind a river, so it's tripled in defence. So white's 14, pink is 15, blue 18, yellow 30, again mountain, hill and river, green 12, and orange right at the end here is only 8. So which one to go for? Looking like 8, and if we can get across that river at that position, right at the top there, over here, then we can outflank that river line. It's how many units can I get there? So that will be the next thing I determine. Okay, so I've been working out moving distances for the mud and such forth. I'm assuming, because it doesn't really clarify, that the roads aren't affected by the mud. The actual rule is written for the weather is 2 movement points per hex side with any plain terrain, 4 movement points hex side which is all rough terrain or rough terrain and high apeni. All other terrain movement costs are unchanged. So I'm assuming the roads is unchanged. So we're going to try and mount a large attack on this unit here. So all the ones I've marked in black there can potentially get to that hex. So the first part of this invasion, if you can see, I've knocked the camera over there, is I've marked a black. This is the commando unit. So he's coming in. Let's move the camera back up over here in this area, and he's going to land here for 2 and into there. Create the zone of control. He's got 4 movement points, remembering that it costs a little bit more because of the mud. Oh, how unprofessional, just had a slurp of tea. Well, I am British, I'm allowed to. Okay, so we want to get something into this hex here. So we're going to bring the New Zealanders. Okay, so they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is the way the roads run. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then half of that road, half of that. So that's 12 to there. Again, I'm still absolutely flabbergasted in the colour of that unit. So let's just zoom a little bit in there. It's the same colour as the Luftwaffe units. So with 12 movement points, moving along the roads, he manages to get there. I was talking about what could get here. Well, first of all, now he's 5 stacking points. Remembering it with the one of the basic optional rules or whatever they call them, into Allied, the stacking is 1 less. So remember, I can get 8 stacking points in a hex, or with Inter Allied I can only get 7. So as that's 5, any of these other divisions are all about 3 or 4. So I can't get another division there, but I can get some of these other units. So it's, those 2 can go in there. I'm sure there is that down, but anyway, there we go. So that's hex is fully stacked. And actual attack factors wise, we have got 6, 7, 8, 9 in that hex. Now, as I said, the defence is, in that orange, is 8. So, because they're stuck behind the river there, in actual fact, with the commandos coming in, does that mean that they are no longer doubled on the defence behind the river? Let me double check. Okay, just check the rules. If all of the attackers are on the river hexes there, then that unit's doubled. That unit, with that commando now coming on its rear, is no longer to be doubled, so it's only got a defence of 4. Okay, so that aids the attack considerably. So we've got 9 in there, and these 2 American units with 4 each can go. It's on when it's been on sitting on the river, it can be classed on either side, so he's going to be going on this side of the river now. So there to there. That's why the camera keeps slipping. Okay, let me just pause for a second. Sorry about that. So if you've missed anything by the camera slipping up, I've tightened it up a little bit. So this guy's starting on this side, he's starting here. He can be either on either side of the river. He's going to be on this side and then move into that hex and that hex there. So that will be 4, remember the mud, 8 to get him there. This guy here, he could go 4, 8, 12, well he won't get there, but he'll use the road for 1, 2, 3, it's still slipping. I mean, I'm not touching that camera and it's gradually going down. Okay. Right, let's hope we don't get any more slippage. Okay, so he was on, I can't remember now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the clear, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for the 4 into there. So that's another 8. Right, it's 17 plus 1 back is 18. He gets you to 4. We will actually commit. Now, is he on the coast? Not quite, no. So we can commit 2 air to there. So we'll take that off now. 2 air onto there. That'll make an attack of 20. So that will be 5 to 1. So orange will be 5 to 1. Okay. Now the question is, do we want to attack anywhere else along this front? Let's remove these black cubes because they were there to work out the attack on that end one. Do we want to attack this green one? He's now got a defense of 6, doubled to 12. Who can get to him? Due to the mud, pretty much nobody. So I think the rest of the yellow line can't get there, but can we actually hit the blue behind the fort here? That's 18. That's quite. We know that the pink is 15. We have got quite a bit of strength around here, but we also need to funnel up units to make sure that there's the Allies. Notice I say we. When I'm playing the Allies, I am the Allies. When I'm playing the Germans, I am the Germans. And I will say we as many times as I want to. So, yeah. As the Germans, as the Allies, I don't think we really have the strength close enough because of the mud. Well, especially not the blue with a defense of 18. But that pink has only got 15. So can we get 30 factors? Or, again, attack at 1 to 1. So we've got, let me just zoom out a little bit. Zooming in massively. Okay, so we have got some units at the back here. Okay, again they're large stacking in size, but they can get there. So let me calculate and see if it's worth the effort. Okay, I've gone through the numbers and unfortunately no. 1 to 1 attacks and then 1 to 4 soak-offs I know the Allied replacement rate is considerably better than the Germans, but even at that, you know, taking a loss is double. And that's one of the other things that I forgot in one of the German attacks. That yeah, if you're attacking somewhere and its defence is doubled or tripled, and you take losses, they're doubled. I forgot that for one of the German attacks. That was pointed out in a comment, which is good. That's what the whole point of comments is for. But looking at that, I'm sorry, it's no. But a decent attack at the end of the line there, yes, and we can actually cross that river. And again, that puts pressure on the Germans to obviously try and maintain that defence. So, all right, so let's get on with moving. So let's take all these cubes off. I hope by using the cubes it has helped. Well, it's helped me, but it helps you guys understand what I'm sort of planning or doing and why I'm doing it. Okay, let's move these black ones as well. Okay, so we definitely need to reinforce this line here. And I think I'm going to send the Americans up that way. So 1, 2, 3. And then because it's going to be moving off-road and it's mud, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you can get there. Okay. So this American here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He doesn't start tracing, so he can strap move 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to there. Okay. So everywhere else, we can't move adjacent because that's instigating an attack, but we can move things up. So we've got a few units loitering at the back here, loitering with intent, as you can see. Loitering with intent. So we've got some units at the back here. Let's bring them up to the line. Oh, we can take that black cube off there. So, again using the road. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So with 16 they can get into that hex there. I do another slight downside of these maps is imprecise where the roads actually are, you know, sometimes. So those two move into there. Again, that's got a stacking of 3, 4, 5. We can have 8 Brits. These are the units I just pulled out of there that haven't moved yet, and I think we'll probably have him sitting there ready to move those out. We've got 3, 4 stacking points there. Remember, we can have up to 8 if they're the same nationality. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So holding that position. We want something in this hex here. So let's see what we can get there. 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. It's almost like I planned it. We'll move the Indians forward. They can occupy that position. And we've got some guys still at the back here. 6A loitering with intent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, that means we've obviously taken Salerno. So that's the fourth objective. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 and a half, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Using a strap move, not moving adjacent, making sure I don't break that rule, and he will move up to there as well because obviously he was closer. These two units here will be going one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In actual fact, we'll go into the mountain. Yeah, go into the mountains. So that is 3, 6. We can only have 7. So we'll put those two in the mountains there because they're allied. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 12. Okay. And effectively we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That'll do there. And then we've got some replacements to bring on the board. Most of the units are full strength, but we'll bring in the Americans. Americans are, so it's into the port. And I'm going to try and bring the Americans over to the place where most of the Americans are, which is on the eastern side of the Italian peninsula. So coming in there, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's keep them in the back there. I'll keep the British. Keep 1 in Napoli. I mean, they can't do anything, but they are there. So we've still got 1 naval, which we've got nowhere to really bring it, and we've still got 1 air, which we don't need. So we can keep that for defensive air support. Okay, so that's the movement phase. So can we zoom in on what we're doing there? Combat. So I'll double check the figures, making sure that I have got what I wanted, which was a 5-to-1. So the German defensive unit has got 4, originally thought to be 8, but because of this commando, it goes back to 4. And we've got attacking 5, 10. I better double check that, make sure my glasses aren't deceiving me. Yeah, that's 10, 2 American divisions. 10 plus the New Zealanders. 16, 17, 18, 19. 10, 19, 20. I'm deceiving myself here. 5, 10. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. I don't even need the air. 20 is 5-to-1. So I don't need the air, so I might as well keep it all for defensive air support. Okay, so that's a 5-to-1 attack. Right, there's the dice box of doom. Let's drop the dice in it. And what do we get? We get a 3. 5-to-1 with a 3 is no effect on the attacker and 3R on the defender. 3R. Now, can that unit take 3 step losses? The answer is, right, okay, I'll just double check. Right, so that German unit has got, let's bring it into the camera there, So 3, 4, 12. So first step loss will take it to a 2, 3, 12. Third step loss inverts it. So first takes it from 3, 4, 12. Second one takes it to a 2, 3, 12. So the third step loss flips it. So it's still there as a inverted counter. So that's not classed as a breakthrough. A breakthrough is if there's not enough steps to take all the losses, which in this case there is, because it has been left with an inverted counter. So breakthrough, whenever the SRT calls for the defender to lose more steps than he has available, the X loss is converted to movement points. So that hasn't occurred. So it's not a breakthrough. Now that inverted counter, however, must retreat. And now notice there are zones, because of that cheeky little commando, okay, there are zones of control. So using the, as I said, we're using the basic rules advanced options. There is retreat through zones of control. Okay, I'm just making sure that, because that's now classed as an inverted unit, can they retreat through zones of control? It doesn't say that they can't. So we've got to try to see if it actually goes. So it needs to go through there, there or there, otherwise it will take another step loss which will eliminate it. Okay, so it gives me a little chart here that 1 is north. So north, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I will roll a dice and see which direction he goes. It's a 4. So again, 1, 2, 3. He tries to retreat that way, which will cause him to take another step loss, which will eliminate him. Okay, so that was quite a successful attack. So now we have to check, or I have to check, advance after combat. Okay, as there was no breakthrough, I can advance into the hex where the defender was, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to advance the New Zealanders in. Keep the commandos where they were. Or do we? That's a bit vulnerable. Yeah, okay, we'll bring the commandos into there. So remember we can have 7 stacking. So let's bring the commando there, keeping that unit and the Americans. Okay, so we're across the river, but we didn't get the breakthrough. The Germans just had one more step too much. So I think that concludes the Allied turn. There's nothing else really to do, so let me just bring you back up. Okay, so we're up here. This is actually my second take of this, because I did a lot of blah 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 and realised I wasn't actually recording. So hopefully we won't have to do this a third time, but if I have this a third time, you'll actually hear me here say this is the third time. So yes, we've had I wouldn't say it's a breakthrough, but we're across the river as the Allies. What are the Germans going to do? Well, you'll just have to look in the next video, won't you? Which, as I've said at the beginning of this one, I'll be shooting straight after this, but you won't get it for a few days. However, if you've liked what you've seen, as you know, hit that like button. You know, that's how this algorithm works. If you haven't subscribed so far, please do so. You know, come and join us on the dark side. We do have biscuits here, you know. The next thing is comments. Comments are always much appreciated. I go through the comments, I always read them and I respond. However, as an extra little caveat, I'd like to say this is the basic game. I mean, there's quite a few more turns to do, but I would like to do the advanced game. But there's other games sitting there going, come on play us, please. It gets to the point where I'm thinking, okay, I'm not getting much feedback. I mean, I'm getting a few likes and watches and such forth, but is it worth moving on to another game, or do I look at the advanced game? And so if you want me to do the advanced, put a comment in there just so make the advanced game, and then I can do it. You know, there's rule books there. I haven't read the advanced rules. There seems to be quite a fair bit there. There's quite a lot of counters sitting there looking aren't going to be in this particular game. So there's a lot to do. But as I've said, it's going to take me time to get the rules understood and so on. And if I want to invest that time, I need to know that you guys are going to be watching it. So if you haven't commented so far or haven't hit a like so far, let me think that you guys want this. Put the like in, put the comment in, and I'll do it. If you don't, then obviously other games, as I've said, are knocking on the door. They need to be played too. So it's all up to you guys. Give me the thumbs, give me the comments, and I can do it. But other than that, thank you for watching, as I've said. All the best. Bye, Internet.